Okay, take 3. I want this to be a short 7-minute update video on what's going on with YouTube and SoundCloud and the pieces that I'm producing, and basically an introduction into me as well, basically. So let's just start off with what I've been working on over the past month or two, where I've not put anything on YouTube. This was all prepared earlier, so there's 2 pieces here, Light and Sunset. Both of these are on SoundCloud. There will be links in the description. They're not on YouTube because I can't be bothered to make videos for them. If I need to make a video for them, I've got to leave my laptop rendering the video for half a day or whatever. I just don't have the time for that. So I might make videos eventually. I do want them to be on YouTube, but they're not on there at the moment. They will go on there. They actually are probably 2 of the best pieces I've produced so far and have an EDM design to them, which I quite like. What have I actually been working on? So one of the pieces I've been working on, this, not got a name yet, as you can see, EDM 9. Just, I don't even want to justify the naming conventions. And you can also see how many pieces I've started, given up, and just not deleted. I don't know where to go with this piece. I quite like it. There's bits of it I don't like. Before I play this, I will add I'm not using the full version of MuLab. I don't want to pay €60 or however much it costs, because simply I can't afford it. So I am using the free version, so there will be random white noise that MuLab plays at some point while this is playing, or at multiple points. I edit this out in post. I'll explain how I do that later. So I'm just play this, see what it sounds like. The chord sequence is fairly basic, not too much going on. So are the drums. Then I've got a sort of a melody section, fairly sparse, again, fairly basic. But I find you don't need to have a lot going on for a piece of music to actually sound quite good. So I'm actually using samples for this. Actually, all of the drums are samples, that's all samples. Don't like this sample, but don't really have an alternative at the moment, not until I find another sample pack. There are some decent samples. Alternative, I could sample stuff myself, but that's effort again. And yeah, this just loops now with another. This is a fairly sparse bit here. It gives me the ability to add layers on top of it in the future when I decide what to do with it. So that's one of them I'm working on, probably the primary piece I'm working on, probably the first one you'll hear out on SoundCloud, maybe February, if I actually finish it. So there's this as well. This has an interesting bass line to it. Put this here this time because I know that the filter's not active there. So it's quite a fast bass line, but I found that I could layer it with sort of a second bass line, which sounds like this through the filter. There's a drop in this. Just play this through to the drop. I'm using that same impact sample there. This is the only one I feel gives a drop some actual power when it finishes, but I don't like it. I also don't like the synth here, which is playing now, but I don't really know what to change it to, so that stays for the moment. And then, so once again, there's not a lot going on, but we can see here that I actually did layer up some stuff on it. And another drop occurs at the end here. Don't like the drums though. Finally, one of the other pieces I've been working on. You'd think this is old. Yes, it is. But I've actually been working on it more than some of the newer pieces, because I actually quite like this. And this is a special one because I found out I could play the filter. So this piano roll, which is played in, it's not clicked in, because I don't like doing that, actually plays the filter here. It's a low pass filter that's being applied to the entire track. Actually everything goes through the master track, so you'll actually be able to hear that the frequency is changing in big jumps while increasing in frequency as well for the filter, because of the ability to actually play it, which I didn't know you could do that. So I'll just let this play through. The bit up here as well, opinions from quite a few people that have heard it already. They quite like it. I don't know about this bit here, you'll hear it obviously when it gets there. So I believe, yes, some drums start now. And some stuff going on in the bass. Yeah, once again, all of this is played in. So at some point I was sitting in front of a piano, actually in front of an acoustic piano, that's tuned down 2 semitones, which really annoyed me the first time I played it. I'm not in charge of tuning it, so I can't do anything about it. At some point I sat down in front of that piano and came up with all of these sequences that you hear, and then played them into MuLab when I was actually making this. So there's a drop here. Do not like those drums you can hear playing. And then this. Not too keen on the drums. Don't really know what to do with them. Ideas, put them in the comments because I will look at them because I need ideas. So yeah, those are basically the 3 pieces that I've been putting the most effort into. You might hear one of them next month. You might hear one of them this month. One of them might be released this month. Stuff could sound dramatically different to the earlier versions, especially to what you hear in this video. We'll make a lot of edits. But with regard to that white noise that you can hear from MuLab, because it's the free version, and because I am almost certainly going past the limits of the free version, I'm editing that out using Cakewalk. And I've got a project here because this is the 3rd take of this video that's already open that explains how I'm doing it. I've got 3 exports here from MuLab, and all I'm doing is I'm just layering them. This is a really rubbish one to be using as well for this, but basically you can see here what I'm doing. If I extend that, that's the white noise from MuLab, and all I'm doing is I'm just making sure that it doesn't overlap. The reason there's a big gap here between where the white noise is because I found when I was editing, if I get the fade to different tracks in the wrong places, you can get a speaker pop sometimes. I don't know if it's just a problem with my speakers, but I just make sure I avoid it. Actually, what I've been doing now is using a crossfade. Didn't know about that when I did this track. Do know about it now. Makes it easier. I don't have to find the exact spot where where there's no speaker pop. So that's how I'm getting around the limits of the free version. And I guarantee that you cannot tell that I'm stitching different tracks together. The only time it becomes an issue is if there's reverb or anything random. Because if there's anything random, it can be difficult to match stuff up. And I have to do multiple exports to make sure that there's not static where that random stuff is going on. Because it's random in every export. So I've got no idea what could happen. Close that. So, actually, what else should I say? I'm actually a classically trained pianist, so this is actually an interesting area for me because I didn't like the classical pieces I had to play for the grades, and this is certainly more interesting, being able to do synths and software synths and that. And I'm using a Samsung Graphite 49. It's nice to play. When I need more keys, it's nice. I don't use it very much. Most of the time I'm using an Akai MPK Mini because the 8 drum pads are really useful for playing samples. The arpeggiator is really good for if I can't be bothered to play anything where I need to, use an arpeggiator for it. And it's generally that it has enough keys and it's the right size. That means I don't do anything stupid with chords. I do have a habit of doing that, playing some rather abstract stuff, and I can't play really abstract stuff on the MPK Mini because there aren't enough keys, which means that my music is a bit more restrained when I'm doing that, sitting in front of a piano and I will play something abstract. So yeah, that's it. that's the update on what's going on. PCs will be on YouTube, PCs will be on SoundCloud. Ultimately, I am working on stuff and it's just simply waiting. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want me to keep producing music and videos like this, subscribe.